Well, when I first started out making the album, I wanted to make a very optimistic sounding record. For whatever reason, it's much easier for me to sort of write sort of sad, melancholy sort of melodies. It's just natural. And so I wanted to kind of play against that a little bit and see what I could come up with. And it can be quite hard to write an optimistic song that doesn't fall over into melodrama. So I considered it a challenge, and when I started putting the record together, I had also moved to this house out in the countryside where I recorded most of the record. And I have this huge window in my studio, and I'm constantly looking out, and at the time it was moving into fall, and it was just really beautiful colors, and I felt like I was sort of soundtracking the seasons change, you know, and I was working on a kind of normal 9-to-5 schedule, and so yeah, and it's been really fun playing these festivals because I feel like the music works really well. You know, it's nice and happy and joyous, and yeah, perfect for like an afternoon like today. Right now, sort of halfway or 3/4 through an album cycle, touring, it's like my favorite time because there's not any kind of deadlines or any reason that I should be like thinking about the next record. I'm just like making stuff for fun. And so as you've probably heard, the songs are sort of all over the place. You know, there's some stuff that's like kind of has a hip hop influence and some stuff that has a rock influence. And I guess what's happening is I'm sort of figuring out what the next step is, but all of the stuff you're hearing is like, you know, I'm making a song on an hour-long flight, and at the end of the flight, that's what it is. You know, it's not like mixed in a studio or anything. It's like really raw sounding, which I really like it. And so I'm thinking that maybe the next record might sound more like that, where it's a lot more imperfect, as we were talking about before. Yeah, well, I haven't figured out like any sort of overarching concept that would make sense to really start putting a record together. It's more just, as I was saying, just writing songs for fun without trying to guide them at all. And it's opened up, you know, some possibilities. I've thought about maybe reaching out to some rappers I enjoy to maybe do some collaborations. And I like the idea of not jumping straight into doing another washed out record, because it can be very time intensive. And once the ball starts rolling, you know, you can easily kind of set aside 2 years of touring and all of that. So I really do enjoy it, mainly because for me, it's really hard putting melodies together. So it's nice having a melody there from the start to sort of build around. And that said, I'm a little bit picky about the song. I just want to make sure that it works, you know, translating it into my world, you know, and that melody, especially on the Moby track, was just perfect. You know, I gave it just a couple listens, and it reminds me more of like some of the older stuff I did where it seriously was just me in my bedroom with like a pair of headphones, and that was it, you know, like no professional mixing engineers or anything. So I had a lot of fun doing it. Yeah, that's another big challenge for me is I've been getting bigger and bigger like club shows DJing, and you know, if it's a headlining club show, I'm normally playing at like 2 or 3 in the morning, and by that point, you know, people are normally pretty loose, and so it's hard sort of playing the really slow, chill stuff and be washed out and still kind of rock the club like it needs to be rocked, you know? I feel like the hardest part about moving forward in my career is like I never want to just do a 180 move without any connection to what I've done. You know, hopefully throughout my career I want there to be this kind of subtle connection connecting every record that I do. So you know, it's been 4 or 5 years. I'm constantly listening to new stuff, and sort of my taste is sort of moving forward, but I still am trying to like pick sounds that, you know, touch back to the first couple washed out records, which, you know, are very Chillwave or whatever. But at the same time, I don't want to be put in that box as well.